and trust our founder, and more importantly, our friend, Mr. Ash Mufareh. Welcome, Ash.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Susie, and everyone who's here. Yes, indeed. I am Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend. I'm delighted to reconnect with you one more time. This time, I may look a little tired, unwell. My eyes could be bad or look bad. It's because I'm tired and I feel unwell. And also, this session could be a little boring, unpleasant legal stuff. And it's because it's boring and it's unpleasant legal stuff. I had to do this. I need to set the record straight, and I hope this will not be as painful for you. I want to welcome everyone on this live global update number 2. First, let me thank you for joining us last week on the first global update. Your presence and energy and support made an inspiring moment for us and for our unity. I thank you for that, and thank you for being here with us again. And for those who are tuning in today, I want to specially thank you for your patience, your commitment, and your belief in our shared mission. Genuinely, your support has given us the strength at times when things were not as easy, when things were most difficult. That's what makes this more than a company. And that's what makes this a movement. Today, we're here to talk about one specific case and topic. That is the SEC case resolution. And we just want to set the record straight, hopefully once and for all. Now, let me address an important matter that many of you have been waiting to hear about. Today, I am pleased to announce that we have reached a final settlement with the SEC's litigations and allegations.
You reached it in June, but okay.
So this allows us to put this litigation behind us and focus fully on what matters most: building, refining, and expanding our new vision. Now, I know there have been some distortion, misinformation, and malicious voices trying to cloud the truth.
You're lying.
Let me be very clear. Today we close that chapter. The matter is closed.
Yeah, now say sorry for ripping you off and log off. Bye.
That's why we're happy with the outcome. And in fact, a number of you submitted specific questions. I'd like to address them now, if you allow me. Straight to the point, I'm going to deliver straightforward facts that you will know precisely where we stand. The case with the SEC was settled without us either admitting or denying the SEC's allegations. No admit, no deny. All right? Yes, I've agreed to pay $4 million penalty personally. And in fact, I have already paid it. It's done. People have asked if I would be prevented from owning or running a new business or a different business or a business in general, all right? The answer is no. It's that simple. And just be very careful. The final judgment is out in the public and you could read it. There are specifics that I am committed to. I'm happy to report this is one very important topic, okay, that any charges against my wife were completely dismissed, completely. Okay, allow me to tell you why I thought settling this and finalizing this settlement and this agreement was the best course of action. Obviously, the choices were not that easy, all right? This has been truly painful and extraordinarily expensive. Yes, millions. Frustrating experience in every direction for myself, for my family, and the distraction in the business, and you've probably suffered some of the symptoms. Like I said, I paid $4 million penalty and I spent millions more in attorneys to defend this case, and who did a phenomenal job. The choice I faced was to engage in a long, difficult, protracted legal battle. Either I do that with a very powerful government agency, obviously the SEC, or agree to settle in order to put this all behind us and move forward. Believe it or not, think of this. It was less painful to endure all of these past long months and years, all right, and pay out so many millions of dollars than it would have been to continue to draw this even longer and delay us from our work and our mission and our vision.
What about
Right,
the 8-year bar, Ash?
let me tell you where I got this strength and withstand and these very difficult times. Okay, so the fact is, I am no hero. I am not perfect, but I'm excellent. I'm kidding. So it was because of you, actually. It was because all of you, they're now watching and listening to my words, okay? My faith in you and your loyalty to our shared dream was proven again and again and again for as long as this taken us, okay? Was proven recently when we did that survey, when so many of you responded to that a couple of weeks ago. Remember that, okay? When the response was staggering, okay? It was like so many of you, well over 90%, like I said. At another occasion, I would love to share with you the graphs and the statistics, but I just want to focus on the SEC topic today. And you've exceeded my most optimistic scenario and expectations. That's a fact. These are numbers. Numbers don't lie. And the result were crystal clear. Almost. I mean, the vast majority of you, almost all of you, are committed with us to stay in the course with us no matter the time frame, no matter how long it takes. This is mind-boggling. And I'm so determined to the new vision, obviously. That level of dedication inspires us every day and give us the strength to keep moving forward in a positive way. So we're looking forward um, with today's marks and today's update. We mark a new beginning of new stage in our journey, a new phase, new milestone. Absolutely. It wasn't easy to get here. However, I want you to understand that we will not and chose not to continue as Onpassive. Understand that. That vehicle is far broken, still has outstanding issues and pending cases. Is not clear. That's why it was unwise, or we see that it's not wise to to keep on fixing this vehicle. We're just going to focus on that dream. As I said, the vehicle is simply, I'm talking about Onpassive, unable to take us to where we want to go. It's that simple. It's not going to take us to where we want to go, which is to our big, bold, beautiful shared dream. And while I'm not going to discuss our next chapter or what we're going to do and what's ahead of us today, I'm not going to discuss that. Simply, it's not the time. But let
Not wait
me
another 7
say
years.
one thing, that our road ahead is filled with opportunity. And the best is not behind us. It's about to be revealed. So, like I said, might be boring for you, not used to this. This is it. I just want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you to those who continue to believe in us, in this mission, in the dream. Together, we are much stronger. We are clearer, and we are moving forward without distraction. The journey will continue, and it continues. And the most exciting part of our story is still to come. Beautiful days ahead. Be sure to stay tuned, obviously, to the back office. More news are coming, good announcements. We can understand how pleased you are with this new format of communication. And I thank you. I just want to tell you, when you are purpose driven and when you have an abundance mentality and a mindset, sometimes you have to give up something in order to move forward. What I call it is give up to go up. It's the volume law in our universe. In order to place something new, you have to make space and room for it. This has taken a big space in our journey, obviously, time, resources, all of that. And we have to give it up, let it go, to reach our highest potential. Because we want to get up. In order to get up and step up, we have to give up something. What matters is reaching our shared goals and dreams. The mechanics and the how on the long term become irrelevant. We were advised to go this direction for the long term, and I hope this will be behind us. No more distraction. We are committed to doing things right. Never, have any intention to mislead or violate the laws. Obviously, we're committed to transparency and doing good. That's our intention. And I hope, we will be wiser in a way to avoid falling into any mistake. Perhaps I want to thank our team at, I think I can say their name, Latham and Watkins, who represented us to conclude this very difficult case. And I believe strong leaders are not made for easy things. It was tough, but we fought for it. We fought all the way, and I'm happy with the outcome. I'm happy where we are, and even happier where we're going. So I'm gonna recap, not in the boring style. I'm gonna do it Ash style, which hopefully
this
less
should be
boring.
good.
Okay, this is the bottom line. All right. As we all understand, unfortunately, sometimes bad things happen to good people. As well, good leaders sometimes make mistakes. And the key is not to give up, not to quit on fighting for the dream. This is one of the many challenges. It's not the only challenge. The SEC case is one tough battle. However, we did what we had to do. And I believe also the SEC staff and employees they did what they had to do. I've met some of them virtual, some in person actually, and professional people. They did their job. I'm not sure if they're thrilled, but we could have a meal together. I mean, I don't have a problem. They did what they had to.
They don't want to have a
had
meal with
do.
you. They're good.
Our lawyers are incredible, and your support was definitely, indeed, the backbone of our tenacity and our fight.
His
So thank you for
relationships
that.
are
Thank
so
you, everyone.
transactional.
You're a part of this accomplishment and this conclusion. So what does it mean? All right. Paid $4 million, and my personal obligation is
He
in
hand-fed
terms
him.
of money. That's it. However, you might ask, okay, the first question is, are you allowed to run a business? I said yes, but let me explain to you in plain English how what I'm aware of, okay, and how I understand it. Again,
well, you might want to go and ask them to
but
explain it to
stick
you.
to
Sometimes
the
you don't.
script, to the judgment.
Okay.
It's very simple. All right. I, of course, commit and pledge not to violate the Security Exchange Commission securities, or the regulations or the laws of the SEC, or any laws. All right. That's always my intention. And of course, I'm committed to that. And any fraud or any misleading or any, of course, I do commit to that. I never want to violate the law, or it's indeed against my principles or ethics as a person. So yes, 100%, I'm committed to that, as well as you. So this is not unique to Ash Mufareh, right? So none of us should like have an exception. The law is the law. We follow and abide. Okay, so that's one thing. The second thing is, let me clarify the notion about the uh, MLM, and uh, it's very clear. Okay, any business model that entails where people make money by uh, joining each other, recruitment, if they make commissions, that's not a lawful model in general. I'm anti money games in general. So, yes, of course. So, this is also something I'm committed not to ever, uh, entertain. And multi-level marketing, to be clear, in America, United States of America, it is not illegal, my understanding. Though I am not in any way interested in the business model, as we're not talking about a business or any vision, okay? We're talking about currently, in general, I'm not sold on the concept. I did in the past, okay? But I don't see it today, all right? So it's that simple, just to be clear. So it's not about MLM, all right? Or uh, it's about a business model where, in my opinion, I'm I'm not, a legal expert. I'm not an attorney, but it could be a money game. Like, how do you make money for no products are sold or any actual services, and all of that? So this is not us, all right? And we will not practice those activities ever, all right? Not in the United States, not outside. I don't believe in that concept. Out of morality, of course, legally as well. Okay. Uh, so this is clear now. As I said, my wife was a relief defendant that is dismissed. Uh, Beautiful news. And the other thing is 8-year barring of what? Very specific. To be an officer or a director or on a board of directors, okay, in a publicly traded company. It's that simple. All right.
Which
I'm not
means
gonna thrill you. I'm not even interested in that. So
oh my god,
I
you're an
am
idiot.
agreeing not to be on board. I'm not saying I'm never going to do that. I don't know what the future has. But though we had to litigate this and we had to debate it in a way and argued the term, but then it is what it is. I am not going to be an officer or a director in a publicly traded company, public company. So does that mean I can run a private company or be on a board or like, yes. All right.
No, keep
Without
reading it.
ever violating the SEC's regulations or any department, any regulation. It's that simple. So, so many of your questions were thinking about the future, on passive. We don't want to get distracted. Past is past. This is where we stand. This case and this the allegations are behind us. No admit, no deny. That's all I can say for now. All right. This case is, the matter is closed. That's really good. So we can move forward. We were uh, definitely delayed for a
You
long
can't be
time.
on the board of
So
directors because that involves directing the company.
am I committed
You
to the
cannot
dream?
market.
100%.
You
All right.
cannot
But we're
sell.
not going to talk about that
Nobody
today.
can sell
So I
on
don't
your
want you to
behalf.
get mixed up. All right. And where do we stand with Onpassive? It is there. You're logging into Onpassive ecosystem. All right. But we're choosing and deciding that vehicle is far broken, still has issues, still has pending things to be settled and resolved. So it is wise to consider a different vehicle. It's that simple. With that, I want to thank you and congratulate you for making it throughout the most boring piece of ash, probably. Okay. And that's all I have. So thank you so much, and God bless you all. Back to you,
Clapping
whoever's
seals,
running
is
this.
that it?
Okay. Thank you so much, Ash,
That's what they
for
waited
being
for?
transparent and honest here today and addressing this topic. I think it's something that we all wanted to hear from you, from your mouth, what you have to say. Thank you all, the panelists, for being here as well today and attending this webinar. But more importantly, guys, thank you to everybody around the globe who was tuned in to us today. That's it for today. Short and sweet. We've all got the right information. It is now onwards.
How is it different from what we said? What the fuck? How is that different? How is that even different? He's like, guys, listen. I don't have a director's bar for 8 years. The haters, they're all lying to you, those naysayers. What it actually said is that I'm not allowed to be the director, manager, be in a company. No, I'm not allowed to direct a company. That's what it means, a public company. But I could be a part of a private one. No, it's that any company. All right? These semantics will not work. And they won't work in court either. Like, they'll be like, what are you trying to pull here, sir? What are you trying to pull? Seal clapping. That was hilarious to me. As if that was only half an hour and they waited for it for so long. I am so glad that I didn't spend my whole morning waiting for this today. The backgrounds, I know, and they all have the same one all the time. It's awful. I got nothing. Basically, he came on to say the naysayers were spreading misinformation about us, but what they said was right. So because of that, I won't be doing an MLM company or any public business. But don't go anywhere, guys. Please keep hanging out with me every single day. You missed it, Angel. It was 25 minutes long, babe. It's over. He's already addressed us. It's done. Which I'm kind of happy about, to tell you the truth. I have a lot of stuff I have to get done today. Kiddo's going back to school, so right now I'm actually in the middle of cleaning out her whole bedroom, getting rid of all the clothes that don't fit her, going through all the books, doing a bunch of clean out. We do it every year. So I've been working on all of that for the last couple days as well. So I was like, I almost missed it, to tell you guys the truth. I had to run out here, if you don't notice. We missed the first minute or two, which was nothing. They just came on and said, hey guys, we're about to go live. Red said, hey everyone, thanks for joining. Here's Susie. And then Susie was all like, oh, I get to introduce Ash again. It's going to be so great. I can't wait to do it. And then she introduced him. So that's all we really missed. But I almost missed it because I was like, oh shit, it's like 1 o'clock right now. I got to run out to the computer and turn the stream on. Because I was doing all that stuff. But, oh Lord, what a bunch of bull hooey that was. It's any company that is required to register under a couple of parts of the SEC regulations. Basically, any public company or any MLM company. And the thing is that it could also be any private company. It depends on what the private company would be doing. Because Ash isn't allowed to market. And he's not allowed to sell. So what private company would he then be allowed to be a part of? What private company is not selling anything or buying anything or providing a way for people to make commissions? You know what I mean? Like, basically, they banned him by banning him from doing all of the activities he would need to do in order to run a business. Right? That's kind of what they also did for good measure. They were like, well, you might try to run a business, so we're also going to ban you from marketing. And we're going to ban you from selling. And we're also going to ban you from having other people do it on your behalf. So you can't, like, be the person telling them to do it. And the company can't be you as a representative. That's a big thing, too. You can't be the representative of a public company right now. Yeah, he's out here like, oh, this is my company. It's like, no. I'm trying to figure out what is his game plan. His business plan is fucked, and he basically said that. So why keep them hanging on? The cult, the praise, the community. He really likes being in power over a large group of people that all praise him and look to him for the answers. He really likes that. He doesn't want to lose that part, right? And so to me, this was kind of like, so we can't run a company, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick to a movement, i.e., in this case, unfortunately, because of what we're dealing with here, which it was already a commercial cult. So when we lose the commercial part of the cult, you just have the cult. We're just left with the cult now. They're all going to be getting together, pumping each other up, allegedly empowering each other, fake empowerment, of course, hanging out as a group, apparently all believing in the same thing and the same man, but then there'll be no business aspect of it. Like being in an MLM without the MLM, which is just a cult. So I think that's what we're kind of left with now. He can set up his own t-shirt business if he wants and sell ugly t-shirts to all the stupid people he knows. I don't even know if he can because they said he's not allowed to sell. So the sales part of that is kind of like, it kind of shackles him. It's like, how are you going to be a part of a business that doesn't sell anything? Like, you're not allowed to make sales. You're not allowed to be the director of a business that makes sales. You're not allowed to market. You're not allowed to have other people do it on your behalf. You know? And that's the thing about the legal, right? Is that they have to put every single thing in writing and be very, very specific. So that he cannot go, oh, well, you guys always said this, like he's kind of trying to right now. And I think that's why they did that. Because the way that that law is worded is only of a public business. So then they went further on to say, and you cannot market, and you cannot sell, and you cannot have other people do it on your behalf, especially if there's securities involved, which can also, securities can also include selling memberships. That can also constitute as securities. Securities is a very, very wide, broad term in this sense, kind of on purpose. So I'm kind of like, well, what are you going to do then? You guys are just going to all hang out and praise Ash and talk about how great he is and how wonderful you hope the future to be? But then you have nothing that's going to get you there, you know? And Red did not seem happy about that answer. I'm also wondering why they didn't have a question answer session at the end. Because I thought they were going to do that from now on. That was a big part of the appeal of these webinars for people. My Onpassive mate tells me Ash can still run any company and then float it as a public company on the stock exchange in 8 years. So no change as far as he's concerned. Now, see, that's not necessarily a lie, though. Technically, if Ash opened up a private company and then just did the same thing to them over again for 8 years, where he didn't sell anything, but then he also couldn't market it, right? But it was just kind of like in existence as an LLC, maybe. But then that's what I mean. I don't know if he could register an LLC. But let's say he can. technically that might be true. The only thing is then your friends are basically stuck sitting there for 8 years not doing anything. And it's like, we've already done this for 7 years. So do they want to be waiting 15 years to get a commission from this company? And like for some people, like that's impossible. And again, like I said, for a lot of people in Onpassive, these dreams that they had have time limits. Like if your dream was to send your grandson to college, like you don't have 15 years to wait. But he's going next year, you know, like, and so I don't accept that, you know. I'm like, that's not good enough for me. That's not what you promised these guys. Glad he told us about the other $33 million he had to pay. So much for transparency. It's true. He made it sound like he only had to pay $4 million and that was already paid off, which a couple of you pointed out. Where did he get that money from? Where did that money come from? Uber or DoorDash, maybe. Maybe. On Fusion, that was supposed to be their next thing. I don't know what's going on with that. And I haven't had any confirmation that Ahmad Swafta is still kicking it. Maybe Ash found out that him and Muhammad Kamal were super close and decided against that. Because he put that company under Ahmad's name. But like, you're going to claim that Muhammad Kamal robbed you in Onpassive, and then you're going to open up a company with like his best friend? Like, you know, that's why that was funny to us. So I don't know if that's what they're still doing. I personally think that once we found out about it and we exposed it, they were like, oh, never mind. Because remember, they tried to do that thing where they were like, oh, you guys got the name wrong. You said it was on Fusion, or on Fusion. It's on Fusion T. Ha ha, gotcha. And we were like, oh, okay, sorry, we forgot the T. Like, big deal. And then after that, never heard of it ever again. He can sell. He can't offer anyone else an opportunity to sell in an MLM structure. I think he can sell if it's for like another company, like Sweet said. If he was going to go to work for Uber as an employee, then he can sell. I don't think he's allowed to sell anything of his own. Anything that would be his product, his service, I don't think he's allowed to do that. Yeah, there was no question and answer, which I was expecting because I was kind of like 25 minutes. Okay, they're probably leaving like half an hour of questions, similar to the last one, even though he talked for an hour. But no, I guess nobody's allowed to ask questions about the SEC case, which makes sense here, right? He's going to get a patsy. He's trying to find another Muhammad, probably. Probably. Compensation slowly or primarily, 1, for inducing another person to become a participant in the program, or 2, if such induced person induces another to become a participant in the program. Permanently restrains and enjoins defendant from directly or indirectly offering, operating, or participating in any marketing or sales program in which a participant is compensated or promised. Yes, which is why I'm like, I don't know if he can be involved in anything that offers commissions at all. You know? And he can't run anything that does. 8 more years of O News. That's what he's getting them ready for, I feel like. I bet you he will come on and state that he hires someone that he knows and a great business leader. He'll be the best person he's ever met, right? I've known this person for years. He's the best person I've ever met. Guys, he's the best person in the business, the top of the industry. Right? And then he'll just be the spokesperson. I don't even know if he can do that. Because that's still being like a representative and technically directing it, you know? See, and this is why, by the way, if I were him, I would just stop. Because like playing all these semantics and like trying to be like, oh, well, the wording says this, so maybe he can do this. Like, why? Why even fuck with that? You've already been taken to fucking court, man. You've been sued for $33 million. Like, maybe just stop. Maybe don't try to find loopholes for once in your fucking life. Because that's all this is, right? It's just him trying to find loopholes in the wording, in this litigation, so that he can keep scamming people. That's what it is. And quite frankly, like, if I were him, I would be like, it's not even worth it. Now, apparently, according to Onpassive, that makes me a very bad person. Because, you know, Ash is an amazing person because he's willing to do all of this for them. It's a monster that feeds itself, this thing. Right? That just feeds more into their delusion that he's amazing. Because he's willing to sacrifice himself now with the SEC and court in order to make them happy and have a movement for them. And this is why MLMs just need to be illegal. It's like, you know, even if they get in trouble, we still have the cult aspects. We still have a whole bunch of other stuff going on. And it's like, who do I report them to now? Who do I report them to? Who do I report them to if they all decide to go to somewhere and build a fucking compound? And like actually became a fucking cult. Who would I go to? What, the FBI? The RCMP? That's the thing here. There is nobody. There is nobody. Unless they're breaking the law in a big way, in some other way, the cult's allowed to go on. The people are allowed to be manipulated and lied to and completely controlled via coercive control, as if they're in a domestic violence relationship. Which is funny because in a domestic violence relationship, I can call the police. If Ash decides to build a compound somewhere, it'll take me 10 years of begging the FBI and providing evidence to them, probably before they even go knock on their door. Look at Scientology. Why is Scientology existing? Because someone like Ash, when I'm going to start a business, it'll have a pyramid thing. People have to work their way up. You know what? I actually want to not pay taxes. Let's turn that business, that coaching program, into a religion. And then it was like, well, now we can't do anything about it. Isn't that wonderful? And this is the society that we've created. These are the laws we have. And that's the problem here. A very big part of this problem. Not to mention the organized crime that's attached to these things. Which, let's just say, there's a lot behind the scenes with this one. I hope you can continue. I really want and need my survey app and my Earl Rotator app ASAP. They are sorely needed. You're not going to be able to continue on the internet without them, right, Rick? Because, like, I refuse to go one more day online until I can do my surveys and have the rotator. So is there a list of the new products? See, and this is the thing now, right? This is a great question. What are we doing now with products? Are there going to be products? Because based on what he said today, I'm not so sure. And he said he wasn't touching on products, so I guess we'll have to wait for next week. Talk about the good old days of Onpassive, right? And just because he doesn't register the securities like he was supposed to do when he started the Onpassive scam, doesn't mean that he can get around it. Exactly, because this is the thing, like I said earlier. Securities is kind of broad here. It doesn't necessarily mean stocks and investments and being on the stock market, those kinds. It could be selling a membership. You know, like, I would just not do anything. I would be too scared of breaking one of these. Not worth it, you know? The whole security thing is the idea of investing money expecting a return. Exactly. Yes. Yep. Exactly. That's the problem, right? No returns. I don't see anywhere that it says he can't sell anything. It does list sales. I promise you. It lists marketing and sales as well. It even says marketing in there. You got to read all of the documents. Don't just read the litigation release and the last document. You got to actually go through all 4 of the other documents. And then it like really outlines every single thing. Like specifically. That's why it's hard. If you're not a lawyer and not used to reading these, you would have no clue what the fuck was going on. That's why. But it does say that. And that's why I don't know. I'm even telling you, I'm not 100% sure exactly what is what. But since I'm not, and it sounds like he's not, why would you risk it? You know what I mean? Like, why risk it? Why? Just go, I'm not even really sure what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do when it comes to business. So I'm going to sit out for the rest of this time. Like, you know, don't fuck with it. It's like playing with fire. Why would you do that? And then you get burned, and then you go, ouch, why was I burned? Like, that's what Ash does, right? That's him. Again, not surprised. But, like, this is the problem with him. This, right here, this. The looking for the loopholes, wanting to play with fire, wanting to fucking push the envelope on these things. No, don't. Stop. Buddy, you haven't learned shit. You haven't learned a thing. Otherwise, you'd stop now. That would be the proof to us that you learned. If you went, you know what, there's no point playing in fire. No point leading these people on for any more time whatsoever. I've taken enough of their time. 7 years, dude, that's almost my daughter's entire life. You've taken almost my daughter is going on 11. You've taken almost 8 years from these people. That's almost her whole life that you have stolen from all of these people. And it's like, you want to take more? Why? And it's like, he's just setting himself up now, because we all know that in another few months, he's going to get all excited again. He's going to start talking about things he's not supposed to be talking about. Because that's what he does. So it's like, why are you doing that? You're not a martyr. Stop. Stop with that martyr syndrome. All right? Go see therapy for that. Not worth it. You know, that would have told me that maybe he learned his lesson and learned that maybe, you know, this is not the way to go about things. But with him acting like this, I'm like, oh yeah, no, he didn't learn anything. He's just going to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And then what are these guys going to do? Just sit around for 8 years? Oh, lucky them. Can't wait. What is Lynn going to do with all those hats? The real questions are ones like those, and what about our song? It just seems so weird not to mention reckless. Exactly. And that's the thing. Stop being reckless. Stop being reckless with these people's time and their money. their emotions. Leave them alone. He was fined $4 million. Onpassive was fined $4 million. And then he has to pay back just over $27 million. He was told that he had to pay $4 million within 10 days from when the judge signed the document, and it was signed on the 15th of August. So he had 10 days to pay $4 million, and he's bragging today that it's paid. Which, okay. But if I was an O founder, I'd be wondering, is that where my O Connect commissions just went to? Because again, you still owe them though. It's like just ridiculous. But that's all he wanted to tell them about. Because the way that these cult leaders work is they lie by omission, right? So they admit to a small thing that they did. Right? Oh, well, I had to pay $4 million in fines. But then they don't tell you about all of the other fines that Onpassive had to pay. That way, when you hear the story, you're like, oh, wow, it was only $4 million. That's so cool. And it's like, no. And then if you question him, it makes it seem like he's being transparent. That's how he's transparent with them. And then they go, oh, well, he was transparent because he did mention it. Well, he left out a lot. But they won't hear it. Because of the bite model, basically. There's other types of selling besides MLM selling and even commission selling. There are even salespeople who earn a flat hourly rate or salary. Yeah. He's not allowed to do anything with commissions. He's not allowed to do anything with MLM. And I believe he's not allowed to sell his product. And again, I'm not sure about selling a product in a company that he's on the board for that's under somebody else's name. Like I said, I don't know why we're trying to play with fire here. I don't know why you would be okay with that, with being like, yeah, this is how my business started. Now we're all trying to find a legal loophole so we can remain legal. Like, okay, why don't you go and join the cartel next, you know? You don't even have to look for legal loopholes then. You could always become a small-time criminal. I mean, they also like legal loophole. It's like, don't trust people that are okay with breaking the law. Especially to build a business. I'm going to have to get this Onpassive tattoo on my butt removed now. Damn it, Slobby. It'll be a fun cover-up to do. There's a lot of colors on that. He got $108 million. He still had to pay $35 million. I'll take that deal all day. See, I'm wondering, some of that money would have gone towards some of the marketing, which was quite expensive. So just to make you feel a little better, I don't think he pocketed all of the rest of that. Like, the rest of that wouldn't have all gone into his pocket. Like, he would have had to have used some of that money to, like, pay the down payment on the leases of the buildings that they did have. Pay for the marketing they did do. Some of that money did have to get spent. But he did make out like a bandit. Which is exactly what I would call him. Loopholes are an MLM's bread and butter. Exactly. It drives me nuts. It's like, why are we even doing this? Listen, all right? I'm not going to be a part of anything that you have to find legal loopholes in order to do. Already, I'm like, so then this isn't legal then? Just call it Onpassive. You would have thought that Ash's lawyers explained what he can or can't do. They probably did. They probably sat down with him afterwards in a boardroom. And they went through every single point with him. But Ash was probably sitting there and inside his head was going, la 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 la. You know? And that was it. That's all he heard. Are these people brainwashed or what? Just incredible. Wow. Onpassive has always been a scam. They are brainwashed. Unfortunately, because it started off as a commercial cult, it very quickly moved into the category of cult. Really, really started that shift in 2021, 2022 is when it really kind of switched over. I actually have charted it. I've been keeping track since I've been covering this of like the whole progression and like how it's gone. Yeah, it's been great fun. Don't worry, we'll be talking about it soon. I was hoping to wrap it up, you know? I was kind of like, it would be nice if this thing would come to a close, and then we could be like, all right, now let's study this thing. But, excuse me, unfortunately, it just keeps going. So, I know there is no problem. No problem with what? No problem with what? I don't understand. Even Ash said there was a problem. So can you be terminated from a company that doesn't exist? Very good question. Very good question. I guess you can be terminated from the community of that company. You know, which I'd argue is almost more important to them than the company at this point. Which is the cult switch. That's part of it too, right? When it becomes more about the community and those in it as members than it does about the products, the services, you know? I'd say we could use the trafficking laws, but cults use loopholes in them too, right? Right? There is no way. There is no way. I think he's going to sell stuff to the founders and count on most of them being too stupid to figure out that they're getting taken. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that's what happened, honestly. Oh, Rotator LLC. Maybe we should look that up, Violet. That might exist already. Maybe we gotta look that up. Ash can sell his GDI domains. I mean, yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. Wow, I missed it. It was easy to miss. It was 25 minutes long. You know? Oh, I'm sorry, Zach. I was late. I got on here like a minute or two after it started again. You know, life off the internet. Lynn can create better cats. Probably. Get her to do it. Get her to do it. Did he pay it back by selling the survey code to Microsoft? Imagine them buying it for $4 million. Lord. Careful, Zachary. Your dad will jump back into Onpassive in a heartbeat if Ash tells him he can, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there's not much that Zach can do about it, as I keep saying. I mean, family members can only do what they can. You know, I tell people, the best thing you can do is keep that communication open. Just make sure that they never fully isolate and cut you off. That's the best thing that you can do. You know, sometimes that's all it takes. And then plant a seed, you know? I've had people tell me that they planted a seed with a family member that was in something like this. And they thought that it was lost. But they just kept on, you know, letting them know, hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here. And then 3 years later, their family member left. And then came to them and said, listen, I mean, you planted a seed the last 3 years. I've been doubting and wondering and trying to figure things out. And, you know, because I had you to come to, I was able to get out now. Thank you. And that's why I say that. Because that works. That's been proven to be one of the best things that a family member can do if they have a family member in the cult, you know? Other than that, you can't make anyone believe anything. You can't make anyone do anything. You would have to be as abusive as the cult leader in order to gain control of the family member in order to do that. You know what I mean? And none of you are. So, none of you are as narky, I promise. So, it's hard. It's hard. It's like having your best friend in an abusive relationship. And you watch it happening and you're telling them to leave, but she's like, no, I love him. It is literally the exact same thing. Although the abusive relationship is with a whole community and a cult leader instead of just one person. That's what it's like. And so, unfortunately, you also have to be careful about how much you push on them and try to get them, because they can also isolate them further into it. And it's a constant tightrope walk. It is so hard and so difficult. And I do think that we need a lot more education out here about it, which is why I do what I do. It's very, very difficult, though. Ash's expenses. Yeah. Spa treatments, right? There's a lot of spa treatments. There really was. Krishna. Interesting. Onpassive AI technology family members, tech team, technical team. Is the tech team different from the technical team? All founders, all leaders, everyone, God bless you. Mr. Ash Mufareh, lovely, great CEO, attended webinars. God bless you, so, sir. Win wit. Yeah, please do win some wit. You're lacking, Ash. Does he still own the giant Ferris wheel? God, that's so funny. I still don't know about that Ferris wheel. I'm telling you, the Ferris wheel's broken. All right, the Ferris wheel has been under construction. I still don't know how he got that Ferris wheel to turn. Apparently they turned it on just for him. How embarrassing having the naming rights to that Dubai Onpassive station. And what a waste of money. I mean, we tried to tell him. We're like, I don't know why you would do this. So yeah, if this is a flop, that's not to mention the Dubai Mall, which I do have confirmation that they were marketing in that Dubai Mall. So a lot of those were real videos of the Dubai Mall. So imagine going to the Dubai Mall now. Lord. The past is still seen from space. Yeah, they can always see Ash's ego. No clue. Don't talk to him about it like that. Yep. Sometimes it's better not to. You've made comments and asked for Ash's number, everything. He might not give it to you. That might not be only to protect Ash, though. He might also be trying to protect you. Not want you to go calling him and getting into drama. He is still your dad. We do got to give him some sort of humanity, you know. He's still your dad. Did Chris use the N-word on the Unhinged tapes Marty has? Maybe. Apparently, there were slurs that were being used. There's more slurs than just the N-word. Just saying. So who knows what it was? If you send me $97 US, I'll send you 5 magic beans. Calm down, Jack. Calm down. Jesus. That is another problem, though, here, is that, yeah, if you're in something like this, you get preyed on by other people trying to scam. Because they're like, wow, we just hit a gold mine. Just tell Ash you have $1,000 for him. He will send you a wallet address number, right? So that was fascinating. That was great fun. I don't really have much else to say about it. I feel like now we just got to see what happens next. I'm not really sure what the next move is going to be. I have a lot of theories on what he can try to do, but I'm going to keep some of those to myself. Just saying. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope that you are all having a fabulous, amazing Thursday. I am hoping that there will be a Friday tomorrow. I should be able to do it, so stay tuned for that. It should be like our usual Fridays. Looking forward to it. Until then, have a fabulous rest of your day. I love all of your faces. And I will see you soon.
My name is Ash Mufareh. and I'm your friend.
In it to win it, not my friend.
My name's
Thanks,
Ash Mufareh,
everybody.
and I'm your friend.
We are here.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the
We
way.
are Onpassive. Shining bright into the future. We rise high.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay?
With one
Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
and revolution.
If that's a
Lifting
call,
up humanity as we rise.
hey.
Standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn. We are the
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufareh.
bringing hope.
If you're rude, if you've been doubting or
We're a nation
spying, or we know who you are.
with one love,
Stop going there.
with one hope.
She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Solution.
Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was 3-minute Ash. Another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them all morning long. It's not the answer you want, but call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
All right, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to crazy men talking about their experiences.
My name is Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
And I'm your friend.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own YouTube channel. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name's Ash Mufareh.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on
Bye,
there.
everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.
My name's Ash Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.